very soon I'm coming with a pilgrim group to this very historic place, St. Winifred's Well. Well, St. Winifred, I'm standing hereby in the grounds, 7th century, and a very holy woman who gave her life to God. And around this story is not only the fact that she was a very holy woman, but also that she rejected the advances of a young man, and that her head was cut off. Here it gets to legend, I think, but when her head was cut off, her uncle came and put it back on. He was Saint Bino, or Beno, I've got the pronunciation right, I think, this time. And here is where when her head fell, it caused a spring of water to come up that remains to this day. People come here for healing from this well and come from all over the world. In fact, it's the only place that has remained through 1300 years, right through Reformation times. The people who believed in the wonder of Winifred and her uncle Benno came here despite all the risks they were taking, including some of those who became martyrs later. I think of Blessed Edward Olcorn, for example, who came from whose name has been given to one of our schools in the Archdiocese. But here we are going to see in the stone from which Benno would have taught Winifred, and then also the well and the chapel above, because this is like a crypt where the well is, and the chapel above, which we also will see. There are connections with other places nearby as well, including a monastery that was destroyed at Reformation times, which had the Benedictines and then the Cistercians who looked after this wonderful shrine. Well, this is St. Winifred's Well Chapel. Underneath is the crypt, and that's where the famous well, the healing well of St. Winifred is. And people come here from all over the world. This chapel can be used for Mass, though it now belongs, the upper chapel, to the Church of Wales. The lower chapel, where the crypt is part of the Catholic shrine. Well, it's just lovely being here today. Here in this beautiful chapel, which is called the Well Chapel. The well is below in the crypt, and of course is the famous well of St. Winifred. And I'm very fortunate to be with the manager of visitors here, Kate, from Liverpool. And she knows something about it all. And she can tell us something about it. When was the chapel built, do you think, Kate?
So this was built around the year 1500.
Because there was a chapel before, wasn't there? Of
Yes.
St. Bino, the uncle of St. Winifred, isn't that right?
That's right.
Yeah, it was a wooden chapel, but then...
In the 7th century.
The 7th century, wow.
Yeah.
So that's because he was around at that time. I heard that he actually instructed her,
Yes.
you know, in the faith.
He did. And there's a St. Beno stone in the newer bathing pool, the larger one outside.
Yeah.
There's a St. Beno stone, which is ancient rock. And the tradition is the pilgrims go there and they kneel or stand on that rock and ask for their intercession, because it's said that that's where St. Beno would have taught St. Winifred the faith, sitting on that stone.
Lovely. I see you are pronouncing St. Beno properly, whereas I get it wrong, calling him St. Bino. But
that's what I started with, Father. I asked a lady in the Mary Jones Pilgrim Centre, actually, how to pronounce it. She said Beno. So.
Well, this beautiful chapel Actually, it's the stained glass window I'm particularly interested in asking Kate a little bit about, because it tells us something of the wonderful history of this place. And I see there on the top right, not the top right, but on the right, main right, it looks like this man, the legend, isn't it, that he...
the villain of the story.
Yeah.
Caradoc there.
Yes.
There he is. He's alighted from his horse. And he's got his sword. And this is illustrating the attack that happened.
Yes.
Dear Winifred, who was preserving her chastity, and this man
didn't get his way,
yes.
So he cut her head off.
Yes.
And that's where we have the miracle that's spoken of through her uncle, Saint Bina. Oh, Saint Bina. And
that's right. So the place where it had landed
yes.
was where this well sprung up, which is directly beneath us.
And we're going to see that well soon. The well that sprung up, and it's still there, the spring.
Still there today.
But then I notice on the left hand is, I think that's the well, isn't it? Kate,
yes.
top left.
Top left, we can see the bathers. There's people, you know, dipping their feet in there.
Yes.
The water.
Yes. And they can still do that, can't they?
They still do that today. So the next slot, if you're interested, it's going to open in just under an hour, Father. Okay? So...
Well, if it's just my feet and nothing more. Because the water must be fairly cold,
it is. It's between 8 and 10 degrees all year round. Because it's from underneath.
Yes.
It doesn't heat up the way the sea does.
And
it's constantly flowing. So
I know you're fairly new here, but are you conscious of it's called a miraculous well, isn't it? That
it
people
is.
have been cured here or healed here.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I notice people come in wheelchairs here as well.
Yeah, we've had quite a few sick people here this week, actually.
Yes.
Them, yeah. A recent story of a lady who came. She came for Thanksgiving a few months ago. Young lady.
Yeah.
Early 20s, say. And I knew she was becoming a Catholic because she told me that. And she did say she'd just come out of hospital, and she didn't say what it was, so I didn't ask her. But I did say, oh, you know, you obviously know about the water, and we have a relic service. So I encouraged her to do that, and then she came for Thanksgiving recently, and she was full of joy and said, I really helped her last time. Now, I didn't recognise her at first, and then as she told her story, I did remember, because we meet so many pilgrims here. But yeah, I remember she said, oh, I've become a Catholic now, and I actually spoke to you and you told me about the relic. Now, she said, after leaving here, she went for a scan 2 weeks later, and she said she actually had a cyst on her ovary that was 7 centimetres, and they didn't want to operate on her because she might have lost her ovary, and she'd just met her husband-to-be. So she went for the scan. It completely disappeared.
Wow, what a lovely, lovely story.
I know.
And here we have the spring, the story of Winifred's martyrdom and the well springing up. It actually spreads out into a pool today that we saw earlier, because I was showing you the stone on which Ben sat to teach Winifred. And people can go here to bathe and to seek healing. But this beautiful crypt has been the subject of many benefactors. As you can see, it's beautifully embossed, and there are many associations here with, for example, the first wife of Henry VIII. Her symbols are on the ceiling of this beautiful, beautiful place. And in the chapel above, we have association with King Henry VII. Many martyrs and royalty came here on pilgrimage. In fact, Winifred's shrine is one of the great shrines of England, on a par with Walsingham, that we're so familiar with. And every day here at 12 o'clock there is a service of prayer and an opportunity to venerate the relics of Winifred, who went from here to found a convent a little part away from here, where people also go to see where she created the community. Here we can see the stone on which Beno sat to teach Winifred the main tenets of the faith before she became a nun, although she was already dedicated to following the Lord and had great devotion to Mary. It is before this statue of St. Winifred in the crypt chapel, the crypt of the Well Chapel, that the daily service takes place at noon, and there is an opportunity to venerate her relic.